Thank you for being here. My name is Kelly Kirchner, and I am the transfer admission counselor that works with our adult students. So I would be your admission counselor, kind of helping you throughout the whole process. So I am available to answer any questions afterwards or whatnot. But tonight we are joined by Dr. Sondra Simpson. She is the program director of our Elmhurst Management Program. So she is a wonderful resource and wealth of knowledge. So I'm going to let her take it away and share with us more information about the program.
This is a little presentation I gave to kind of give people a little better understanding about what the Elmhurst Management Program is all about. And it's really a degree of second chances. It's a degree for adults that want to go back and complete their degree for a variety of reasons. And we're here. We've all been there. Lots of people have been there. And it's a range of ages from 24 to I'd say 70, so a wide range of folks. Some that are a little bit, that they just had to work full time because that's what they've had to do economically, and they had come in with significant experience, but maybe are younger and they're needing it to advance. There are others that stepped out of this for a long, long time, and now they're like, it's time for me, and I'm going to come back for this, and all kinds of things. So I'm going to talk about that a little bit. The first, I want to mention the School of Business at Elmhurst. We, every single student that leaves the School of Business has the same core business administration degree, which is what our EMP degree is about. But the EMP is accelerated. It moves at a quicker pace. It recognizes that you're adults with experience and you'll grasp the content more quickly. But I want to say that even though it's a separate program, our degree completion, we get the same liberal arts foundation. It's really important that we meet the liberal arts foundation with professionalism, with how to be a professional in the world. And so our vision for our mission for the University School of Business is transforming students into global professionals willing to impact the status quo, really critically think. And so I wanted to make sure we understood it's the same for us, right? And so my agenda for tonight is to talk about our core courses and the benefits of the cohort model, talk about the integrated curriculum and degree requirements, give you I've developed 3 personas about who is the EMP student. I've been with this program for a year and a half. I've been advising for transfer students for 100,000 years, and I've been teaching for many, many, many years as well, decades, as well as come from the corporate world. So I come from this from all different sides. And I want to talk about andragogy, which is a different learning approach than pedagogy or teaching approach. One of my degrees, my doctorate is in adult learning. It's literally, I went back to find out how do adults learn, because the more I worked with graduate students and the more I worked with adult undergrads, I'm like, I got to understand this better. So I want to talk about that. And I want to share with you a little marketing video that we had created. EMP is the accelerated business administration degree, and accelerated is important. We cover content in a much more quick manner than the traditionals. It's a degree completion a program for adults 24 plus, but they do have to have significant life experience. Same degree requirements as all the students, but we have the cohort model. And so what I have seen, and I went through cohort in one of my programs too, they come together like this, and it's like no child left behind, no man left behind. Everybody goes through. They create text circles the very first day of class, and they help each other with the homework. I've never had an accounting professor before tell me how much they loved every single one of my students until I was working in this program. And they're like, oh my God, these guys are studying together. They're coming together early. They're working on this. And we love your students. I'm like, well, good. That's the benefit of the cohort model. So it does benefit for students to be able to come to those classes they can attend in person because you bond better. It's intense. The way our cohort is set up is you have 4 classes per semester, all in one night. You only take one night, whether it's a Tuesday night or a Wednesday night, depending on the year of the cohort. And it's likely going to be always Wednesday nights going forward, but we're still working through some of that logistics. But it's You would take 2 classes in session A, the first half of the semester, and 2 classes in session B, the second half of the semester. So you come to class from 6 to 8 for one of your classes. Those are typically the quant classes that require a little bit more alertness. And then 8:15 to 10:15, you have more of your management, more engaged learning classes. And so we do that for the first semester. Second semester, we allow you come for your 6 to 8 for your quant classes, your accounting classes. And then the second one, we allow you to do that online asynchronous. So we start, freeing it up a little as you've gotten to know your cohort. Third term, we do the same thing. You come for the more intense classes, face-to-face 6 to 8. And then the other two are online asynchronous. So we'll talk about that in a moment. But the cool thing is, unlike the day students that are coming maybe 2, 3, 4 days a week to get those 4 classes, we're coming one night. So it's really efficient, but you learn the same things they're learning in 16 weeks, you're learning in 8. So, and it's because we think you'll grab it faster, but it means there's no time for messing around. Learning must be relevant. We're not giving you any busy work. It's all, everything we're giving you is tied to our end goal of writing great business plans, of truly understanding the content. Again, this is a cohort program for second chances, but it requires commitment. And so I'm now learning to explain to my students that for every hour you're in class, you're going to spend 3 hours outside of class studying. And so you got to set aside that time. Now, it can be at 5 in the morning, it can be at 10 at night, it can be all day on Saturday, it can be however it is, but you've got to spend that time. And if it is an online class, you have to recognize you have to have your equivalent of 2 or 3 hours in class online during the week, plus the homework time. So online classes are not less time consuming. They're actually sometimes more time consuming, but they're more flexible in that you can do it in your own time. So I also want to tell you that efficient does not mean easier. We really value our learning outcomes, and our goal is to create amazing alums. So we're not going to go easy on you. So you have to gear yourself up and be ready. What are the core EMP courses, and how do they compare to the traditional business administration degree? I'm going to first tell you that in the fall, when people join us in the fall, we do a kickoff with an orientation boot camp to get you going. And so you get to meet 1 or 2 other previous EMP students. You get to meet all the services. You have access to every service on campus that everybody else does, whether it's the therapy or the wellness center or the library or technology, whatever it is. We teach you how to have access to the library. You get to meet the faculty. You get to meet the faculty that teach the capstone course. You get to a tour of campus. You get some swag, some cool swag, right, Kelly? She's always making sure you have it.
Yeah.
You get heavy appetizers, which means please come hungry. We do tell people if they've got children they need to bring them. Bring a guest. We're good with that. We talk about your goals. You share your goals. You bond with the team about your goals. And we have an Excel and PowerPoint boot camp. And so we really help you start getting going. We require LinkedIn Learning classes that we provide you for free before you even come to boot camp to kind of set you up. If you start off season, so the cohort starts in the fall, I have a few people that sometimes start, they're like, I can't wait till fall, I got to start school right now, right? And so Kelly and I met with some of these folks last week. And so we just do a quick Zoom orientation at that time, and then they're required to come to this. This will always be the week before your classes start, and it's 5 hours. So, it's required. So here's how the classes look. So in session A, you've got a statistics course, and then we have our marketing management course during session A. In session B, you've got global business, and then you've got your math, your business calc class, all based in Excel, based in real world problems, how you're going to use it in the real world. You note that the equivalents here are 1 in 200 levels, with the exception of the stats. That's important to understand because there are many, many things that we have to achieve in awarding a bachelor's degree to meet the Higher Learning Commission's requirements. So you have to have a certain amount of classes or credits for a bachelor's degree. You have to have a certain amount from the degree, the school that's giving you the degree. and you have to have a certain amount at the 300 and 400 level, or the upperclassmen level. And for us, that's the 300 and 400 level. Because your classes are accelerated, we're able to give them at the 300 and 400 level, which is awesome because you get to that one requirement much more quickly. So there are a number of ways that we can do this because we're counting on your life experience and your business experience. If you come in with the marketing management class already, we have what we call an information literacy tag on that. That's part of our integrated curriculum. If you already come in with the marketing management, then we have to have you take a different class that is Business 340, a different finance class. So if you're thinking of taking classes before we come here, we recommend you hold off on the marketing and take it with us. Okay, the second semester, the spring semester, we have logistics and supply chain and accounting. So the accounting is in the morning, sorry, not in the morning. The accounting is at 6 in the evening. It's been a long day for me. Then you have logistics and supply chain after that, although we'll do it online only. Then the accounting for management is the second session. And then after that, we do management, which is the online only. If you're going to be, I love all of our professors here. We've done a good job of finding folks that are terrific with working adults and understand what you're going through. But if you're taking classes before you get here, management's always a nice one, only because I have some other classes that it's a prereq for that I can put you in if you come in at odd times. In the third term, in the fall, after you've started, it's finance is the first one. Now, if you came in with marketing, I have you take a different finance class at 16 weeks that has the information literacy. And then Business 350, cultural diversity, that's an 8-week class. We have business policy, and then we have business ethics. And we learn all kinds of things. This business ethics professors are terrific. They have their rules, got to follow their rules. I had a couple EMP students that are like, I don't want to follow these rules. And I'm like, really? You want me to ask the ethics professor to change them? No, this is ethics. So, but we, again, everything we're learning is relevant to your work world. What are the benefits of a cohort model? How many cohorts do we offer, and what are those benefits? We have a single in-person cohort this school year with a hybrid option. That option is by exception. In 24-25, there's a slight possibility we'll have 2 cohorts, one online and in person, but the reality is it's going to be the in-person with the hybrid option. The hybrid is by exception only, because we know that the in-person bonding is so important, and the material is understood and the accountability is understood better in person. But there is an online exception only option that we do. What are the benefits of the cohort model? It's all for one and one for all. Man, these people pull together in a way I've never seen, and it is fabulous. Well, I saw it in my cohort. They support each other. We support them. There's bonding. They help build up each other's courage. You have study groups, people, and these people stay friends forever, right? Team tutoring, so we can sit down within a team and tutor you, work together with you before class, after class, different times, online Zoom, or they can tutor each other. And again, no one left behind. Here's that example of, Dr. Van Wolveleer. She was like, just finished, Business 380, our accounting class tonight. This cohort is absolutely amazing. They formed a study group and encouraged each other to complete the weekly homework and quiz. They would come to class early and discuss the exercises. They were focused and really wanted to learn the material. Thank you for the opportunity to teach these guys. I'm looking forward to them. I have her now. I loved her so much. She's now also teaching our finance class. Let's talk about the requirements. What about the impact of all those requirements? Now, typically, so you can finish our cohort, if you've come in with none of the cohort classes, in 3 semesters, and come close to the amount of classes you need to have from the degree seeking, from the institution that you need to get the degree from. So you come pretty darn close. But there are sometimes some other things that are required that the students haven't come in with yet. And so there's what we call the Elmhurst integrated curriculum. And so we're not shortchanging our liberal arts curriculum. So most students graduate in 4 semesters. Some will graduate in, 2.5 semesters. They do summer and they do J term. Some graduate in 3 semesters. Most graduate in 4. I do have others that they're like, I want to just take a couple classes at a time. I'm going to get 5 years older anyway, because that works best with their schedule. So we help customize as we can, where we need it. But what is in our EMP program that fits within our integrated curriculum? The cool thing is, if you transfer in with an associate's degree, you need to have 2 what we call areas of knowledge, which would be called general, AOKs here, but they call gen eds elsewhere. We provide 2 of them. So, if you haven't got them already. So the IEJ, the integrated ethics, or the integrity, ethics, and justice. Now I should
Inquiry?
Yes, thank you. Inquiry into ethics and justice. Thank you. Why? I've been doing this 100 years. And social and political analysis. So in our core classes, we already provide 2 of those tags, or 2 of those AOKs. We also have what we call tags. So we have a significant amount of values and ways that we want our students to be able to critically think about information literacy within their major, domestic engagement, social responsibility, writing with, at a high level within their major, those kinds of things, quantitative analysis. And so for a traditional student, that may look like entirely different set of classes, more classes. For us, the way we have scaffolded our classes, every single one of those tags are met within our EMP classes. So we make that easy. You get your 2 math credits with 2 of our business classes. Stephanie, did you just let her in? There we go.
I let her in.
Okay. And you get all your 300 and 400 levels. So we do a really good job of hitting all of the Elmhurst liberal arts requirements through those 3 cohort terms. We also, for those returning adults, we waive 2 requirements our traditional students need, which is experiential learning, because frankly, you're coming in with experience or we're not letting you in this program. So we don't say, but sometimes I have students that want internships. I've had a number of EMP students, they're changing careers. They're like, they come back from the military. They've been out of the workforce for a number of years. We get them internships. And then experiential learning as well. World languages we waive. But we do need to make sure we get our English 105s and 106s. And so I encourage people to, if you want to take community colleges before you get there, to do that. We do need the O tag, the oral communications tag. That's not within my major. A number of fabulous classes at Elmhurst, but that awesome is one that can be taken before here. And we have our 2 econ classes that we do require. And we have fabulous, love our econ professors, but they, those are some that some students will take before they get here. Some will also take math to prep us. So many of my students, in order to get to their 32 total credits or their 14.5, so their 120 semester, 8 semester hours for the total, to get a bachelor's degree, or the amount that needed from the school, they've transferred in enough classes. Maybe they took accounting, maybe they took management or marketing. They still have room in their schedule to take some, 2 or 3 or 4 additional classes. Only 5 classes are needed to get another major. And some of them, ours that we, like the Business 350, the cultural diversity, count in a number of majors. So a number of my students, about 50% of my EMPs will go above and beyond their business administration degree, and they'll get a major. We have 7 majors within the School of Business. The ones that offer the most nights and weekends classes are finance, logistics and supply chain management, and marketing. And all of those classes are taught by professionals in the workforce or PhDs in those areas. So, and our professionals all have masters in those areas. So really good networking, right? And so that's fun. So our class nights typically have alternated yearly. Tuesday nights, was our fall 23. Wednesday nights will be our fall 22 and fall 24, and we may stick to all of our classes on Wednesday nights going forward. We're working on that. So how quickly can an EMP graduate? I think I already just touched upon this, forgetting I had the slide. Often in 4 semesters, especially if you come in with an IAI, and 5 semesters if you slow down. 3 semesters on rare occasions, but there are folks that do it, and I have one that just did it in 2.5 semesters. Who is the EMP student? It's any adult wanting to go back and get their degree, but we have found that there's 3, tends to be 3 types of students. They tend to fall somewhat in these 3 buckets. And so all of our students are experienced adults juggling jobs, career changes, families, responsibilities, life. And some are younger, approaching 30, and they've said, hey, need that degree to move ahead, time to adult and complete what I started. Some are working parents. I need the benefits in a different career path. My kids are old enough I can go back to school. It's time for me to better myself and complete what I needed to do. Some are moving into management. I need a degree that will open doors, and no degree is holding me back, and I want to pursue the American dream. And in order to do that, I'm going to go back and get this degree. And those are the 3 large buckets, and we have lots of different folks falling in various areas in between. The students in my most recent cohort said, hey, I'm not only here to get the degree, because I finally got to get it done, but I want to do this for me. I will feel better about myself if I get it done. One of those that are coming into the fall cohort that we've been working with, he's like, I just got to get it done. This has been bothering me for years. I just got to go back. Please tell me there's other people in their 50s. I said, yes, there are. Career advancement, bigger and better opportunities if I get this degree, or I want to change my career. I've been doing this and I want to go into that. Personal growth and development, I want to expand my knowledge. Some of these students we've been rolling right into the MBA program because they've loved it so much. So, here's an example of one of our students. These are different names. I've created different names. Mario Lopez. Background, he's a staff accountant. He's single, enjoys the outdoors. He's 35 years old, male, lives in Elmhurst. He uses email, text, phone calls, LinkedIn, Twitter, and his challenges are he's relied on experience to advance his career, but education is the only way to further advance into the accounting field. Not much flexibility with his work schedule, though, so he needed a cohort like ours. So, what could we do to help him? Offer him an accelerated program with affordable classes. Our classes are less expensive than the full program or full tuition, and offer counseling to help. Hybrid courses. I've met with him many times. Jacqueline Smith is, her goals are to reduce her workload and increase her work-life balance, go back to school and earn a degree to advance at her current company. She's an advertising manager with 2 children at home. She likes outdoor activities, lives in Itasca. She has no work-life balance right now. Going to school makes it even a little harder sometimes, but man, she's working on it. Advancement in a career requires a degree, and she's managing this with her family life. So what could we do? We could help her with hybrid schedules for those times when she needed to be online, an affordable adult continuing education program with a flexible schedule. Ed Compton, his goal is primarily to be in a place where they can support their partner and their hobbies going forward, and secondarily buy a house, earn a bachelor's, and with a career, get quality experience, promotion, become a VP. He's a retired vet. He's an HR payroll specialist, lives with his partners. His partner likes watching movies, and he's a foodie, reading, lives in Des Plaines. All of these, we put the average age, but actually the one before, she was 52. Actually plays with TikTok a lot. Getting back to school after being out 10 years was a challenge and made him very nervous. And how was he going to balance job, life, partner, health, school? And he felt his skills were outdated. Actually, this guy aced every single class and has been recommended to be one of our tutors. What can we do? We can offer him flexibility, affordability, guidance, network connections, professional development, and we are a military-friendly school. So real quick, In general, what do we know about teaching these students, our adult students, right? Typical pedagogy in higher ed uses traditional methods, lectures, case studies, research papers, presentations, kind of like what I'm doing right now. But it's the deposited banking style into students, right? It's like opening the brain and pouring the knowledge in. And that is just not as effective and not as, it doesn't work as well with adults. So andragogy is the approach we take, which is learner-centric, and we use the faculty as guide and coach. So we often require more work offline outside of class, maybe online, but not in person, to prepare, to make sure you're learning the content. And then we use our class sessions to apply the content. So our knowledge is actively co-constructed through experiences. And we create our learning by more problem-centric learning, hands-on active learning, self-directed inquiry. We create projects that are only going to help you, where you can go and learn about a company or an industry that will help further your career. Or we do iterative process learning, where we start and then we just keep building, and all of our cohort classes build upon the previous cohort, and you get autonomy by working in your projects. We have one class in the fall, our global business one, that uses a global business simulation. Our students love that. It's not easy, but the learning is amazing. So we take that and we meet what the assumptions are that we know statistically about adult learners, that our material has to be relevant. It has to be something you need to know, that our adult learners are evolving their self-concept because we're changing the way we think about ourselves as we go back and get our degree. We know that experience equals learning, and we want to honor the experience you're bringing in with you. We know that we need to help you be ready to learn, but you're, coming in with a readiness to learn makes a difference, and that you can immediately apply this learning. So we do more application learning in the class, and we know our adult learners are more internally motivated. And so, traditional pedagogical learning, the instructor is responsible, the learner has less experience, they're told what to learn, the process is prescribed, there's external motivation for the grade. But we base our program on Knoll's research, which says the 6 principles of adult learning are that adults are more internally motivated and self-directed. So don't, I can't waste your time, right? If you're bringing in this life experience, I need to honor and knowledge to our learning experiences. We're more goal-oriented. The learning has to be relevant and practical, and we respect where you're coming from. So what are the implications for our classrooms? How are we going to meet each of our students' need? We make sure that everything is relevant. We're telling you why we're learning it. We give you quick, regular feedback. We give you engaged activities. We tell you where this learning fits, why it's important, and we give you the time and tools to do this. We help you critically reflect with the learning, and we do something immediately with it, and we tie this to your internal growth. And so our responsibility shifts from teacher to facilitator and coach. So we apply this to our course structure. We explicitly link our learning to outcomes. We have consistent course approaches. We have consistent course communication. We respect, one of the things we did is we've revamped all of our Blackboard learning management system for you guys. We tell you what we tell them what and we're going to do. We tell you what, and then we tell you what we told you. We've improved our relevance and of our activities and our assessments. We've tied our lecture readings and assessments together. We've improved our course management learning curve. We've reduced your stress, and we've improved focus on content versus navigation of our Blackboard sites. We have a set weekly cadence to our courses that helps keep things on track and simple. We give you quick feedback and grading, and we announce regularly on a weekly basis that comes out in email also what's going on. We respect your time, we respect your emotions, and we respect your lives. But we also respect the content. And so we have a combination of full-time doctorates and adjunct consultants that are all experts in their field. So they're able to really inform with where you are. So we are empowering, EMP, empowering careers and second chances. Lastly, I'm going to just share this quick video, and then I'll take on any questions. see if it'll play. Let me click the right thing here.
It's an amazing experience. You learn so much. You're not going to regret it.
The knowledge you'll gain, the skills you'll gain, the memories are all worth it.
Very quick. Did I tell you it was quick? It was very quick. So my students my cohort came up with this, that EMP is always about #empower. And so we'll start seeing that more in communications.